after 5 games in which the Rangers generally overcame their own mistakes and took advantage of other teams' mistakes, it was a mistake-heavy night against the Golden Knights, and the Rangers really never recovered from the first minute and a half where they gave up the first goal of the game. Yeah. They lose it 4-1.
You said it, John. It was 23 giveaways. We haven't seen that from the Rangers. They weren't very smart with the puck, mostly because they were trying to get inside the tight D that Vegas did present. Malcolm Subban didn't have a tough enough night. There were chances at the net, but not on the net. And I thought that there was too many opportunities off the rush early in the hockey game against the Rangers, and they have to guard themselves against that when they're playing against a team that's looking to feed their offense off the rush. 3 of the 4 Vegas goals were off the rush. 2 power play goals, but the two goals off the rush, the first and third goal, those were just plays where the Rangers were trying to do too much. They didn't have support for one another. They didn't have anybody checking back, and it really hurt them just to get their offense going in this hockey game, because when you get denied a couple of times when you're trying to take opportunity offensively off the rush and they transition the other way and it gets in the back of your net, guess what the message comes from the bench? It changes from the coaching staff and from the players on the bench. They try to police themselves, and then I think they end up policing themselves into a hole where they weren't really creating enough at the net.
2 statistics that, with 2020 hindsight, prove what this game was all about. The Golden Knights lead the league in takeaways. They had a bunch tonight, and they had more goals in the first period than any other team in the league, and they scored 2 goals in the first 4 minutes, and that made a huge difference.
Absolutely. Look, any team that gets down early, they start questioning themselves, and I thought there was a lot of frustration on the players, and that was channeled from the back end all the way through to the forwards, and you can see it on the bench, you can see it in the play with a missed pass or a goal against, and unfortunately, you have to do 3 things every night in the NHL. You have to work really hard, you've got to be coachable and make adjustments, but you cannot get frustrated, and I thought that set in and it really hurt them.
Yeah, and you can tell the frustration, certainly on the bench during the first timeout, TV timeout, where they were already losing 2-0. Then David Quinn calls a timeout at 3-0 and hands it to the team again. And you can tell the frustration set in, and I'm sure the frustration was magnified, Steve, by the fact that in the end result, the Rangers had a lot of good opportunities. They either missed the net or were robbed by Subban, who I thought, as you said, played a good game, but not a great one.
Not overly challenged. Right. Here's the thing. When you're playing against this goaltender, he's not quite established as an NHL guy, and you've got to shoot with a purpose. All of your shots have to be recovered, and you've got to be the first one there, whether it's an opportunity in front or it's to the corner to keep the play going so you can break down this box, because Vegas wasn't going to move. They were going to hold everything from the dots inside, and they were going to push rebound plays just like that one away. Here's the post by Kreider. And there was a lot of that in this game, John. I had 3 on my page when I was counting them during the game. That's a scoring opportunity you don't get, but it's close. And a lot of the hockey game felt that way for me. Off the rush, there was chances that was probably the best one from Strome. And I think that it's really difficult to shoot in the NHL if you don't have a plan, if you're shooting from outside the dots where Vegas is allowing you to shoot. They want you to take that shot. Now, if you're taking that shot with the purpose of shooting it and you're going to keep your feet moving through the release and get an opportunity, then you can do that. If you're going to shoot it because you've got a stick there for a deflection, then you've got a second and third chance opportunity if the first one doesn't work. But the Rangers did start to roll at certain points in this hockey game, and they did have a push. And this play right here by Hayek is just a little bit too elevated, and it's into the midsection where it's got to be 6 inches lower like the previous shot. If the shot itself, where everybody on the ice knows it's coming from outside the dots or above the top of the circles, has that aim, you still have to be a sharp shooter. You've got to get it 6 inches off the ice. The butterfly will push that puck back into play. But again, what I saw Vegas doing very well was collapsing on those rebound opportunities, so you're not getting to them. You've got to have everybody on the same page. At moments during this hockey game, it didn't look like that.
And that shot that Strome took after it was saved, they went to commercial break. He skated around the ice in that zone, talked to himself the entire time, because he had 3 opportunities in that little window there and was unable to score on any of them.
Yeah, you're oftentimes close enough to get to see what these guys are saying to themselves, and I was too. When they came to the bench, guys are breaking their sticks. The one thing I never saw in the NHL is it get better after you get frustrated. As soon as you get frustrated as an athlete, I feel like everything crumbles. It's not like you turn a corner and everybody picks up their play. It can really run through the lineup, and that mentality oftentimes becomes the unraveling and undoing of the game.
The only goal for the Rangers came late in the second period, and it was off the stick of Brendan Lemieux, who now has 3 goals in his last 6, Steve, after scoring 1 goal in his first 18. We're starting to see why he gets a little bit more ice time.
Look, there's going to be a decision at some point on Chris Kreider. That's well documented. If Brendan Lemieux can maintain his game in front of the net and learn a lot of the things that Chris Kreider has done, it's important that he knows how to get there. It's important that he has the courage to get there and the willingness. And it's very important to me that you know how to do it when you do get there. There is a specific role you have to play in front of the goaltender and make him look. Now, I like the fact here that Faust is that guy, and then Lemieux, because he's a little late coming from the corner because he was in that battle, he gets there with his stick ready as a second chance opportunity. He's there because if the shot doesn't come to the net, he's got a second opportunity, and that really helps with the overall offense being able to know that there's more than one opportunity at the net to be had when the Rangers are designing their offense above the circles. Now, Trouba here sets this play up where you can see how Lemieux's going to the net with his stick down. He sees there's a screen. As a defenseman, you have the opportunity to say, yes, I'm going to put it on net or off net and try and increase my team's chances of scoring. I like the play a lot. It's something that they're going to have to run consistently. And unfortunately, again, for tonight, not enough of those at the net.
Yeah, that was the only goal for the Rangers on a night where the Ranger power play was 0 for 6. Vegas power play was 2 for 2. That made a difference as well.